On August 23, 2021, Kubra Dogen climbed onto the roof of his cousin's house to record a video for his TikTok followers. At first, what he was doing seemed fun and harmless, but what he thought was just simple content turned out to be the last time he would be seen alive on camera. Here are some TikTokers who recorded their final moments. But before we start, if you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe so you'll always be updated with videos like this. Felicia Kununchok.
There's a neighbor there, he's drunk. He knocks on the door and breaks in. He's been standing for a few minutes knocking, and now he's swearing.
February 2021. Felicia Kununchok, a Russian TikToker, was alone at home with her 4-year-old sibling when a drunk neighbor repeatedly knocked on their door. That day, Felicia's father left to go to the local stores, so she and her younger sibling were left alone at home. While Felicia was busy scrolling through TikTok, she heard a series of persistent and aggressive knocks on the door. She felt a sense of fear, so she chose not to open the door, thinking about the safety of both of them. But the knocking didn't stop and only grew louder, lasting for more than an hour. As the minutes passed, Felicia's heartbeat grew faster and faster. Out of fear, she made a quick decision, grabbed her cell phone, and recorded a TikTok video, and this would be her last video. In that video, her voice was trembling as she described the terrifying situation they were experiencing. Her fear was very evident as she asked for help. That video became her last connection to the outside world.
You can already see she's probably standing somewhere right now, hesitating. Of course it's scary, the heart is pounding. It's tough. This is tough, my brother, I think.
At that time, there were maintenance workers outside the house, but they had no idea what was happening inside. They ignored the repeated knocking, thinking it wasn't their responsibility. Eventually, the knocking stopped. Felicia gradually calmed down. Suddenly, her friend messaged her and invited her to the park. Hoping to feel safe, she immediately agreed. After a while, her father returned home. While waiting for her friend, she continued scrolling through TikTok, but then someone knocked again. Thinking it was her friend, she immediately approached and opened the door. But in front of her was their neighbor, Dogen, the person who had been knocking aggressively earlier. She tried to close the door immediately, but it was too late. Basil attacked her with his 12-gauge hunting rifle. The door and Felicia were hit. Her father heard the gunshot and immediately ran to the door. He was shouting and asking for help from the workers outside, but it was too late. As she was slowly losing consciousness, Felicia was still able to say her last words. "Daddy, he killed me." The perpetrator was Basil Dogen, 33 years old, who previously had a good relationship with Felicia's family. But due to misunderstandings about noise and complaints, their relationship worsened until it ended in tragedy. According to the police, Dogen admitted to the crime and was arrested. The case is under investigation by the authorities. If found guilty, he will face life imprisonment. Amar Haider, December 32, 2019. 3 friends gathered together to make a TikTok video. They didn't know that day would end in tragedy. One of them was a young boy. His name was Amar Haider, whose life would end in an unexpected incident. In the area called Kuroda Shidanzialkot, Amar and his friends decided to make a TikTok video. They used a weapon as a prop for their video, a decision that later turned out to be a huge mistake. In the video, Amar can be seen holding the weapon while restraining one of his friends and pointing the gun at his friend's head. It seemed like they were imitating a hostage situation scene. While they were acting out the scene and continuing to film, the weapon they thought was safe suddenly went off unexpectedly. Amar was hit by a bullet in the stomach and immediately collapsed. He could not be saved and died on the spot. When the neighbors heard the loud gunshot, they immediately reported it to the authorities. Amar's 2 friends, who are both minors, were taken by the police for investigation. Amar's parents did not believe that it was just an accident. For them, there was a deeper reason behind what happened. According to his father, our son was killed because of a personal conflict. Meanwhile, Amar's friends expressed a different version of the incident. According to them, it was just a tragedy and an accident, and the gun unexpectedly went off while they were filming. Despite their explanation, the investigation is still ongoing to determine what really happened that day. In November 2020, Harrison Gilks was a Canadian teenager who was diagnosed with a rare type of terminal cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. Doctors discovered that he had a large tumor in his prostate and also cancerous spots in his lungs at the young age of 14. Despite the extremely difficult news, instead of giving in to sadness, Harrison chose to face it with courage and make the most of the remaining time in his life. In February 2022, he achieved remission after undergoing multiple chemotherapy and radiation treatments. But just 4 months later, his illness returned, and this time, it could no longer be treated. Because of this, Harrison created a TikTok account and started sharing his bucket list, things he still wanted to experience in life. He wanted to try things he had long dreamed of, like skydiving, as well as simply spending time with his family and loved ones. His videos quickly gained attention and support, and his followers grew to over 314,000. They give him strength and inspiration in the midst of his battle. He went on various dangerous and exciting adventures both on land and in the air, while capturing every moment to share with his ever-growing audience on TikTok. Along with his travels, he also continuously updated his followers about his health. In one update, he said, "The scan showed that the large tumor in my prostate has stopped growing for now. For now, the ones in my lungs have only grown slightly." As his 18th birthday approaches, his followers have become even more excited and eager for the next updates. But weeks passed without any new updates. So his audience began to feel worried and concerned. Finally, Harrison returned with some heavy news. He admitted that the chemotherapy he underwent during the summer was not effective. His condition continued to worsen. The tumor was growing and spreading to his liver. He added that one of his lungs had filled with fluid. March 21, 2023. Harrison posted again on TikTok, and this was his last video. He shared a heartfelt message where he acknowledged that his chances of making it home were very slim. He thanked everyone who supported him throughout his entire battle. In his own words,
"This is for me and my family. It's been a great ride with you guys."
March 32, 2023. Harrison passed away peacefully with his family by his side. His brother, David, also confirmed his passing through a video. According to him, Harrison did not suffer in his final moments. In his statement, after almost 2.5 years of a tough battle, he knew he had done everything he could. He was loved, brave, and ready to say goodbye. Fatty Goes to Africa on December 4, 2022. TikToker Gan Swang, better known as Fatty Goes to Africa, went live on TikTok to document his journey in the city of Nepal. People thought it was just a simple travel vlog, but it ended in tragedy. His last interaction with the world happened while he was live streaming his own death. Gan Swang, a 29-year-old Chinese TikToker, had a strong passion for traveling. He loved trying different foods and exploring various cultures in different countries. Because of this, he started uploading food reviews and travel content. Eventually, his content expanded even more, and his project, which focused on traveling in Africa, became bigger. That's why he named his account Fatty Goes to Africa. His content quickly became popular and reached around 5 million followers who were eager to follow his adventures. As his popularity grew, he formed his own social media team to support his expanding brand. Many of his followers were inspired by his personality and the experiences he shared, but not everything went well within his group of content creators. One of the people he worked with was Fang Zhenyong, a 37-year-old fellow TikToker known as Ion. Over time, the tension between Gan Swang and Fang Zhenyong gradually worsened until it eventually led to a serious conflict. There was intense tension between them when Gan went to China to visit his family. There, Fang took advantage of the opportunity and entrusted Gan with $1,500 to buy an iPhone for him in China. But when Gan returned, Fang discovered that no iPhone was bought, and Gan also refused to return the money. Although this has not been fully confirmed, it started a series of conflicts between the two of them. Aside from this, Fang also accused Gan and his team of allegedly sending virus-infected food to his house and damaging his belongings. At first, Gan didn't want to believe these accusations because there was no clear evidence, but eventually he started to have doubts. On December 4, 2022, while Gan was walking in an open market in Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, he decided to go live on TikTok. In his live stream, he jokingly said, "I'm going to hurt her," referring to Fang. But he didn't know that Fang was actually approaching him from behind with bad intentions. Within just a few seconds, chaos suddenly erupted. The area was filled with screams as Fang rushed in and attacked Gan multiple times in the back and the stomach. Gan fell to the ground holding his stomach. His clothes were slowly stained from his wounds. Even though it was obvious he was in pain, Fang continued to stand over him and shouted at him as if he wanted to make him feel until the very last moment who the winner was. Gan was visibly struggling as he held his stomach wound. He even tried to make a gesture with his hand as if asking for help or a phone to call emergency services. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. He passed away due to the severity of his injuries. But the violence did not end there. Fang also harmed Gan's companion, Lidawan. In the following days, Fang was arrested by the authorities and charged with the killing of Gan and the assault on Lidawan. Kubra Dogen. On August 23, 2021, Kubra Dogen climbed onto the roof of her cousin's house to record a video for her TikTok followers. But this would be the last time she would be seen on camera. Kubra Dogen was a 23-year-old TikToker with a deep passion for creating content. She was born and raised in Istanbul, Turkey, and since childhood, she had a love for the art of storytelling and entertainment. From creating travel content on Instagram and YouTube, she gradually became known. But it was on TikTok where she truly found her place because the short video format suited her creativity. As her popularity grew, various opportunities from brands for collaboration also came her way. But along with fame came greater responsibility and more dangerous situations. On the day of the tragedy, Kubra visited his 16-year-old cousin Helen at a family apartment in Istanbul, a city known for its historic sites and beautiful architecture. As the sun was setting, they saw the breathtaking view of the city from where they were staying. Because he was a content creator, Kubra saw the perfect opportunity to take beautiful shots for his audience. He climbed up to the roof to get better angles. Helen joined him, and together they enjoyed that moment. For several minutes, they happily took videos of each other. Helen held the camera while Kubra moved and posed on the roof. But as the moments passed, the situation became serious. Helen noticed the possible danger and started to worry. She pointed the camera at Kubra, and you could see the worry on her face. Kubra, on the other hand, sat on the edge of the roof. His feet were resting on a gray plastic panel. Eventually, he stood on top of the panel, but he immediately noticed that it wasn't stable. And before he could move away, the panel suddenly gave way.
Lion Larry, lelelele, my dear brunette, you are beautiful.
In an instant, Kubra fell from the roof. He fell from approximately 9 stories, or about 160 feet. In shock, Helen immediately ran inside the house to inform their family about what happened. The family immediately called emergency services, but it was already too late. They faced the heartbreaking reality that her injuries were too severe and she passed away before any medical help could be given. In a shocking revelation, her uncle Nebi Dogen said that they had warned Kubra several times about the dangers of making risky content. but she reportedly did not listen. The family added that they will file a lawsuit against the contractor responsible for installing the fragile plastic panel that caused the tragedy. Inquisitor 3. Vincent Plici, known on TikTok as Inquisitor Ghost under the handle. Inquisitor 3 became famous as a cosplayer of the iconic character Simon Ghost Riley from Call of Duty. His content has gained around 100,000 followers on TikTok, where he shares videos of his costume performances and portrayal of the character. Vincent has a natural presence on TikTok. He brings his own style to portraying the mysterious character, which his followers have come to love because of his easygoing, friendly, and positive personality. As his audience grew, he decided to expand his content. He hired a female editor to help with the production of his videos. This editor used the name AJ, but Vincent did not know that AJ was a minor and that there was allegedly another person with bad intentions who had drawn AJ into it. Vincent became friendly with AJ and always praised her work. He often said that her edits were very beautiful, and sometimes he even used joking phrases like, "I'll marry you," and "Thank you, honey," which for him were just simple jokes that he often used with others. But eventually, these simple statements were given a different meaning and used against him. A TikToker named Tito, who had bad intentions and was connected to AJ, made the accusation to his large audience. He accused Inquisitor 3 of allegedly grooming his underage editor, AJ. Tito also spread the chat messages between Inquisitor 3 and AJ, but these lacked full context. These messages were also passed on to another popular TikToker, Keegan's Mask, who also reposted them to his large audience. Because Tito and Keegan have more followers than Inquisitor 3, the accusation spread quickly. In just a short period of time, the issue spread throughout the entire online community. The once kind and cheerful image of Inquisitor 3 suddenly changed and became negative in the eyes of the public. He was labeled as a predator even without a clear trial or the full context. Due to intense pressure and fear, Inquisitor 3 stopped posting for several weeks. This caused confusion and concern among his followers who didn't know the whole situation. On September 22, 2023, Vincent sent a message on Discord expressing how heavily the accusations and online attacks were weighing on him. He said, "I'm really scared. I won't hide it. I love my community so much, and the last thing I want is for them to see me as some kind of monster." On October 9, 2023, Inquisitor 3 went live again on TikTok for the first time in a long while. But this time, only an empty room could be seen along with a glass door. The comment section was closed, so none of the viewers were able to leave a message. As the live stream continued, stones were being thrown around, and eventually Inquisitor 3's family entered his home. The situation quickly became chaotic, and it greatly shocked those who witnessed it. His family entered the room and tried to perform CPR on his unconscious body. You can still hear them shouting for help and calling for an ambulance. A few days passed, and the truth behind the accusations against Vincent came out. According to the investigation, this was a scheme that had been planned for a long time. Tito and the editor, AJ, allegedly conspired to ruin the reputation of Inquisitor 3. The leaked chats show that AJ tried to have a romantic connection with Vincent, but he rejected her and politely asked her to stop talking to him that way. There are also chat logs showing Tito and AJ planning to gather evidence to ruin the image of Inquisitor 3. One of the most shocking messages is from Tito. "This is not a life or death situation. I want you to do this. Keep flirting with him and see where it goes. When the conversation gets intense, we'll expose him. We need more evidence." Unfortunately, Vincent didn't live to see his name cleared. After his passing, the online community came together to pay tribute to him and remember him as a good person, instead of the false image that was painted of him. Xiaoquai Mei June 22, 2021. Xiao Kuai Mei, a well-known TikTok personality, thought it was just an ordinary day when she invited her followers to watch her live stream from her workplace. She can be seen in the video doing her usual lively dance while live on TikTok. Xiao Mei is a crane operator and also a TikTok star known for her lively dance videos and unique content. Because of her job, she often shares with her audience the view from above the city. She has over 100,000 followers on TikTok and Douyin, the Chinese counterpart of the platform. Her followers admire her for the energy and joy she brings to her videos, as well as the rare glimpse into her life as a crane operator. As 5:40 in the afternoon approached that day, her shift was about to end. The place was quiet because most of her co-workers had already left. In the quiet, Xiao climbed up the crane and entered the cabin that served as her stage. He prepared his camera to live stream his last moments of work that day. He started the live stream with his familiar lively dance, a joyful display of his love for his work and for life. As his followers watched, they were immediately captivated by his charisma and energy as he continued to dance above the city. But in an instant, the whole atmosphere suddenly changed. The video feed shook as the camera suddenly fell, capturing only a blurry and quick image of the crane before the footage was completely lost. According to witnesses, the horrifying truth came out. Xiao fell from his position while holding his phone. It was a tragedy and an accidental fall from an estimated height of 160 feet. In the events that followed, his family came forward to confirm the devastating news. They also clarified that Xiao's fall was simply a painful accident and not a dangerous challenge or a poorly planned stunt. Alicia Pinky Williams. December 20, 2020. TikToker Alicia Williams, known as Pinky, was busy preparing to celebrate Christmas in the city of Atlanta. She was happy and excited for what she thought would be a safe and orderly gathering with guidelines and supervision. While she was setting up her camera to record a video of her dancing, she suddenly heard a strange noise coming from the door. Unfortunately, that was the last moment of her piece. Alicia was happily making her video that night. The original plan was for her to attend a supervised gathering at an Airbnb, but as events unfolded, it was discovered that the plans had changed without her family's knowledge. It turned out that another parent arranged for them to stay at a hotel, specifically at the Hyatt Regency. It was in this hotel room where Alicia recorded her TikTok video while dancing. December 26, 2020. Around 12:23 in the early morning, everything seemed normal at the start of the video. She was happily dancing and enjoying herself, but suddenly something happened behind her that surprised her. She immediately stopped dancing and ended the video recording. A little later, she heard a commotion at the door. Before she could react, someone suddenly entered her room. You could see the shock and surprise on her face when that person suddenly entered. And in just a few moments, Alicia was shot and instantly killed. The police responded immediately after the attack was reported, and later a teenage boy was arrested in connection with the crime. He was charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, reckless conduct, and illegal possession of a firearm. For Alicia's family, the tragedy became even harder to bear because the whole incident was unclear. According to them, they thought their child would be attending a well-organized and supervised holiday party at an Airbnb. In addition, they suspect foul play because the hotel room was booked under the name of the parent who was arranging the change in plans. According to Alicia's mother, she only found out about her daughter's death 8 hours after it happened. While the authorities' investigation is ongoing, Alicia's family is appealing to possible witnesses to come forward and provide information to uncover the whole truth behind the tragedy.